Predicting the NRL ladder is always a challenge, with player transfers, coaching changes and team dynamics shaping each season in unpredictable ways. As we head into 2025, some clubs look primed for success, while others face major hurdles. With powerhouse teams aiming to maintain dominance and underdogs looking to rise, this season promises plenty of excitement. Here's my prediction for the upcoming 2025 NRL season. Let's get into it. In the 17th and wooden spoon spot, I have the Dolphins, who have lost Wayne Bennett as head coach, which is a significant setback for the team. However, key signings like Fini Fuiaki and Daniel Saifidi could provide some optimism. And while they have a strong work ethic, they do lack the star power to compete with the league's elite teams. That being said, the Dolphins have a knack for exceeding expectations, and while they are unlikely to make the top 8, they will remain a tough side to beat, as they did in their previous 2 inaugural seasons. The Warriors have made a huge signing with James Fisher-Harris, but the loss of Adam Fanua-Blake, Sean Johnson and Tohu Harris leaves them with major holes. Andrew Webster's coaching remains a strength, but they face uncertainty in their halves, with no clear successor to Johnson. They will be competitive, but they may struggle to replicate last year's success, as that was largely carried by Sean Johnson. Let's see how the Warriors go in the upcoming season. Parramatta is definitely entering a rebuilding phase under new coach Jason Riles. The departures of Clint Gutherson and Reagan Campbell-Gillard leave massive gaps in the squad, while Dylan Brown's long-term commitment remains very uncertain. Although they have added stars like Zach Lomax and Josh Adokar, the overall squad balance is very questionable. If Mitchell Moses stays fit, which seems to be unlikely based upon his 6-week absence at the start of the season, they will be able to remain competitive, but they are very unlikely to challenge for finals this year. Unfortunately, the Roosters have suffered massive losses in their squad, including Joseph Manu, Jared Waria-Hargreaves, Joseph Suaalii, Luke Keary and Terrell May. While they have gained Chad Townsend as an experienced half, their roster lacks the firepower of previous seasons. The emergence of young talent like Marky Mark offers some hope, but they will likely fall down the ladder in 2025 as they rebuild. The Newcastle Knights remain heavily reliant on Kalen Ponga's brilliance, but their pack overall lacks punch following the departure of Daniel Saifidi. Adam O'Brien is under immense pressure to deliver results, and unless their forwards step up, they may struggle to gain momentum early in the season. If everything clicks though, they could push for mid-table, but there are too many question marks around their consistency and overall depth in the squad. Now on to the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and the return of Wayne Bennett to South Sydney is definitely a game changer. Latrell Mitchell and Jack Whiting could thrive under his coaching, and there is excitement around the inclusion of Jamie Humphries in the halves. However, injuries to Cameron Murray and Latrell Mitchell early in the season could definitely slow them down. If their depth players step up and their defence improves, they could push for a return to finals football. But in my opinion, it's quite unlikely this season. The Gold Coast Titans have brought in Des Hasler to instill discipline and consistency, with Tino Fa'asuamaleaui leading from the front and the addition of Reagan Campbell-Gillard, their forward pack has the potential to be dominant. The biggest question mark remains their halves pairing. If they can establish stability in the playmaking department, they could push for a final spot. However, given their history of inconsistency and unfortunate history in injuries, they might fall just short of the finals. The Canberra Raiders have not made significant moves in the off-season, which is concerning for a team that has stagnated in recent years. While young players like Savelio Tamale offer promise, the squad's lack of improvement might hurt them. Ricky Stewart's teams are always gritty, but with a difficult draw and key departures, they may struggle to keep up with the competition. While they will fight hard with young guns like Xavier Savage, their depth issues and inconsistency could see them fall short of finals contention. Now we move on to the West Tigers, who have undergone a major roster overhaul with big name signings including Jerome Luai, Sunya Taruva, Jarrell Skelton, Royce Hunt, Jack Bird and Terrell May, to name a few. Co-captains Luai and Api Coruscant bring leadership and premiership experience, and Benji Marshall's second season as head coach could see improvement. While they may just miss out on the top 8 spot, they will be much more competitive in 2025. If their forward pack stands up and their half combinations click, they could surprise many this season. The St. George Illawarra Dragons have undergone significant changes, with the acquisitions of Damien Cook, Clint Gutherson, Valentine Holmes and Lachlan Ilias giving them a fresh look. Losing long-time leader Ben Hunt is a big blow, but Gutherson's leadership will be crucial in guiding them. With a more balanced and dynamic spine, the Dragons should be in the mix for a finals berth. If their combinations click early and their forwards provide a strong platform, they could push into the top 8 after years of inconsistency. Manly's success in 2025 largely hinges on the fitness of Tom Javojevic. When on the field, he is a game changer, especially when linking up with Daly Cherry Evans. If Turbo can stay healthy, the Sea Eagles have enough attacking power to challenge for a final spot. However, defensive lapses have plagued them in recent years, and they must address these issues to be a serious contender. Their forward pack remains solid, and if they tighten up their structures, they could definitely push for a top 6 finish. The Bulldogs are a team on the rise under Cameron Ciraldo, and 2025 could be the year they break into the finals. The leadership of Stephen Crichton combined with Matt Burton's creativity in the halves gives Canterbury a very strong foundation. While their attack is still a work in progress, their defensive improvements and gritty playing style should keep them in the top 8. If their spine continues to gel and their young forwards develop, they could surprise a few teams and finish in the top 8 again this season. Although they have lost key players such as Valentine Holmes, Kudlikefu Finifuiaki and veteran winger Carl Felt, the Cowboys remain a formidable side. The inclusion of young star Jackson Purdue offers hope that he can fill the void left by Holmes and inject excitement into the backline. With Tom Dearden continuing to develop as a top tier halfback and Jason Tamalolo anchoring the forward pack, North Queensland should remain competitive. If their young players do step up, they can make a push for a top 6 finish, as to why I have them in 5th place. And now to round out the top 4 we have the Cronulla Sharks, who enter the 2025 season with a solid foundation and a squad that looks capable of making another deep run. The signing of Adam Fanua-Blake bolsters their forward pack, adding much needed size and aggression. Nico Hines is also entering his prime, and if he maintains his form, he can steer the Sharks into a top 4 finish. Their defense remains their key strength, and if they can remain disciplined and improve their attack in high pressure games, they will be a genuine threat come finals time. Despite the major losses of Jerome Luai and James Fisher-Harris, Penrith remains a powerhouse due to their elite system and disciplined approach. Nathan Cleary continues to be the key, and if he stays fit, the Panthers will be a serious threat once again. Their defensive resilience, well-drilled structures under Ivan Cleary, and the emergence of young talent should keep them in the top 4. They may not dominate as they have in recent years, but it would be foolish to count them out of title contention. After a very disappointing 2024 season, Brisbane looks to bounce back in a big way. The addition of Ben Hunt brings valuable leadership and playmaking ability to an already talented squad. With Reece Walsh at fullback, Payne Haas leading the forward pack and a strong supporting cast including Adam Reynolds and Patrick Carrigan, the Broncos have the potential to surge up the ladder. If they can improve their consistency in game management, they should find themselves back in premiership contention, taking the number 1 spot, and there's no big surprise here we have the Melbourne Storm, especially with the inclusion of Stefano Utoikamanu to solidify their forward pack. While the loss of longtime servant Kristen Welch is unfortunate, Melbourne remains stacked with a lethal spine consisting of Jerome Hughes, Cameron Munster, Harry Grant and Ryan Pappenhausen. Hughes is coming off a Dally M season, further reinforcing their dominance. With Craig Bellamy's coaching genius and their ingrained winning culture, they are well positioned to claim the minor premiership and contend for another title. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you're new. Let me know in the comments down below who your pick is to win the premiership this season and any surprise teams you see climbing up the ladder. With that being said, we'll see you in the next video and goodbye.